Welcome back to FenceCast. We're here with Thomas Carey, and Thomas is the tech support manager, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for Viking Access Systems. And you guys are based out of California?
Yeah, Southern California, Irvine, kind of in between LA and San Diego.
Okay, perfect. Now, we have a couple questions that we wanted to throw at you just with regards to the access control industry in North America, which is something that we've seen continued growth with over the last couple years. Mm-hmm. The last 2 years, and also slated for 2017, we've got like single-digit growth. What do you think it'll take for this industry to break through into 10% or more in terms of growth in North America?
Now, I know in my area, specifically down in Southern California, there's been a huge reinvestment in the aging infrastructure, which I think is really kind of driving these sales into access control technologies, because everything's being updated and they're building new buildings and everything is becoming new.
Right.
Now, I think as some of these projects near completion and we get more to the end of this reinvestment, we're going to see a huge increase in access control simply because most of that stuff goes in at the end of the project.
True.
Rather than at the beginning. They're not going to put in the gate operator at the very beginning or the telephone entry at the very beginning.
So you think that some of these numbers might actually be affected in terms of the rate of completion, so that, they might finish in a different quarter just because that's the end of the project?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. That's a great point.
Yep.
That being said, how do you think that some of these more data-driven solutions are going to affect things? How do they affect systems right now, and then how do you tie that into things going forward?
So I mean, the name of the game right now is integration, integration, integration. How can we take all this various data from different systems and put it into one spot where it is easily manageable? And I think that's really what's being driven right now, is just how do we integrate all these great systems together into one place and make everything easy to manage, easy to read, to where anyone can go in there and look at it and be able to interpret this data.
So does that go into like cloud-based stuff for anybody like myself who really doesn't know anything about how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things, actually, I asked you about the shameless plug. Well, here it is we're we're introducing a new line of telephone entry systems called Elika.
Okay.
And really, what kind of
those are they're really kind of mean-looking things, very clean, modern-looking. They're in Fence Post magazine.
Yes.
World Fence News.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what we saw is this kind of all this new technology coming out that wasn't being integrated into telephone entry.
Okay.
And so what we said is we want to take all this great technology and engineer it and put it into one box, and that's what we've done.
Perfect.
Cloud-based management system. Anywhere that you have a smart device that has internet access, you can manage this telephone entry system. You're not bound by one computer or one single download onto anything. All right.
What's the ease of use like for a system like this?
It's incredibly simple. Through the design of the web application, it's actually a web-based management application. We wanted to make it and so that anyone, whether you know anything about access control or not, can go in there and can run this system and manage it.
So like a property manager would?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
So that's a good idea for design, just so it can be applied and used. I think that one of the things about the fence industry is the more we can make it not specialized in the sense of somebody being able to operate something, the more it's going to expand upon itself. New machine, or it could be a feature that you know of or have seen that's going to be unveiled in 2017 with regards to access control?
Well, I mean, in regards to access control, the thing I'm most excited about is, you brought it up earlier, cloud-based management systems. Because we're totally breaking away from this paradigm of having to download one application onto one machine, and everything is moving to become universal.
Right.
So where my system in Southern California, if I'm on vacation in Australia, I can pull it up and I can see who's come in and out. And that's what's most exciting to me, is just the wireless type stuff.
How does your system compare to something like LiftMaster's MyQ? I mean, are those on the same plane, or are they different? I mean,
so it's different. MyQ is meant more specifically for the gate operator side.
Okay.
The Elika telephone entry system is purely access control. And
Okay.
while it hooks up to a gate operator in most situations and opens and closes it,
Right.
this is going to tell you who's come in and out at any time.
Yep.
Okay. You're going to be able to hook up your Wiegand devices to it. We're integrating Bluetooth into it. All these different technologies for access control are getting thrown into this one box, in a well-engineered box. And
it's feature-rich.
Yeah, and it's going to be simple to manage. And that's been my number one thing during the development of this. My number one opinion on it is it has to be simple. I want anyone from you to the guy who knows everything about this stuff and has been around since the beginning of time can go in there and know how to use it.
Do you think that the companies that are, kind of taking the lead, in that part of the industry, in the access control industry, are the ones that are focusing on making this intuitive rather than overcomplicating it?
I think that the companies that are really going to push to the forefront of that industry are the ones who are taking all this fantastic new technology and applying it to telephone entry. All the wireless, cellular, voice over IP, it's like we've had all these advancements in wireless technology, and now we just need to put it together into our industry. And I think that's really what's pushing the advancement. So
that's how we apply it.
Yep.
Thomas, thank you for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much.
All right.